Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 3, verse 16. Yesterday, we saw verses 14 and 15. 14 and 15, the gist of 14 and 15 is that living beings are born out of food, food is born out of rain, rain is born out of yajna, yajna is born out of karma, karma is born out of Vedas, and Vedas are born out of the imperishable God. So, the imperishable, the all-pervading God resides in Yajna. This is what Lord Krishna said in verses 14 and 15. Now, verse 16. Evam pravartidam chakram nanuvartayati hayaha agayurindriyaramaha Mogam partha sajivati. Again, a wonderful verse. Lord Krishna says, who is Indriyarama? Who is Indriyarama? Very, very excellent verse. Evam pravartidam chakram. Pravartidam chakram. The cosmic wheel is already set in motion. Nanuvartaya dihayah. Na anuvartayati. That means the one who does not follow. The one who is not following this wheel is agayu. Agayu means that person lives in sin. Agayurindriyaramaha. Indriyaramaha. Wonderful word, wonderful word. Atma Rama is a person who lives in self, who is happy with his self. Indriyarama means the person is happy in his indriyas, in his organs, sense pleasures. Mogam partha sajivati. That means mogam is complete waste. His life is a jivati. His life is a complete waste. Lord Krishna says, Hey Arjuna, the cosmic cycle is already set in motion. Everybody has to follow it. The one who does not follow this cosmic cycle and who is involved in sense pleasures, his life is a complete waste. This is what Lord Krishna says. Let us take the example of the office of a prime minister or president. There also a cycle is set. That is, a wheel is set. The trade policies are already there. The foreign policies are already there. You can't do much about those policies. Already they are in place. You have to follow you have to be a part of that wheel. You can't say you change overnight everything. But it is man-made policy. Maybe you may be able to change the policies in some time. But nature's law, no one can change it. Everybody, whoever it is, he has to follow the nature's law. Nature's law is very strict. There is no exception. There is no exception in nature's law. Whether you are an old man or whether you are a baby, whoever it is, if he touches fire, the fire will burn him. No exception. Nature's law is very strict. Nobody can change it. Hence, Lord Krishna says, follow the nature's law. Then, why Krishna says, if you don't follow the nature's law, you are a sinner. And the one who enjoys the sense pleasures, who follows the sense pleasures, he is completely wasting his life. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. Why he is saying that? Let us see. In Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankaracharya, there is one verse, very, very interesting verse, which we all must know. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam Atagha Bumstvam Tado Viprada Tasmat Vaidiga Dharma Marga Parada Vidvatvam Asmat Param Atma Anatma Vivechanam Swanubhavo Brahmatmana Samstitihi Muktirno Shata Janma Kodi Sukurdaihi Punyir Vina Labhyate. What he says is Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam. That is, getting a human birth is extremely difficult. There are thousands of insects, lakhs and lakhs of insects, lakhs and lakhs of birds, lakhs and lakhs of animals. But you are born as a human being. Is it not a gift? You could have born one such insect, maybe a cockroach, but you are born as a human being. Even after born as human being, a person who is having a healthy body, good eyes, good ears, then getting that is much more difficult. Even after getting that, the person who is understanding the scriptures, who has got interest in those scriptures, is very rare. It is very, very difficult. Then he says, Atma Anatma discrimination. The one who gets into this, what is Atma, what is Anatma? We all know Atma. Atma is self that existed in the past, that exists in the present, and that will also exist in the future. Anatma is one which was there for some time and which is not now available, or which is now there. For example, your father or your great-grandfather, who was there but who is not there now. Maybe we can ourselves take into an example. Today we are there, tomorrow we may not be there. So Anatma is one which remains there for some time and then it will not be there. Atma is something which remains forever. So Atma Anatma Vivechanam. This is very interesting. If you get into that, that is very, very rare. Then with all this, a person who is trying to realize the self, that is extremely rare. That is extremely rare. The Adi Shankaracharya says, if somebody gets into that, into realization of self, then it cannot be obtained except through 100 billions of births. You would have born as insect, bird, this thing, that thing. Finally, you get a human birth. And in that human birth, if you get into these things, it is the punya of several crores of janmas. That is what Adi Shankaracharya says. In Tamil also, there is one saying, Aridu Aridu, Manidarai Pirattal Aridu. That means getting human janma, human birth, is extremely rare. After getting this, if you don't use your human birth for realization of the self, is it not a waste? In the path prescribed by Lord Krishna, it is a complete waste. Finally, Swami Chinmayananda wonderfully says something on this. If you see animals, the head, the heart, the belly, and the baser instincts, they are all in the horizontal line. For animal, head is here, heart is there, belly is there, and then baser instincts are there. The below belly level, whatever it is. For a man, The head is here. It is on the top, intellect. Then the heart, the emotions are there. Below that. Then below that, your belly is there. Then come the baser instincts. So, man has to think. Then emotions will come. There will be some emotions. Then only you need to fill your stomach. Finally, your baser instinct. Alas, what we have done? We have reversed the entire cycle. We are giving preference to baser instincts, and then we are giving preference to our stomach, our belly, and then a few emotions are there. Rarely we use our intelligence. Then what is the difference between an animal and human being? You are worse than an animal. Animal, at least it acts by instinct. It has little intelligence. We can't say animals do not have any intelligence. It has little intelligence. But man is supposed to be having the highest intelligence, top intelligence. That is the best creation of the living beings. But if you give preference to the basic instincts and not giving preference to your intelligence, then what type of life you are leading? Your birth, human birth, is it not a complete waste? That is what Swami Chinmayananda ji says. So, verse 16 again. In verse 16, what Lord Krishna says is already there is a wheel, chakra, which is set in motion. You follow that wheel. The one who is not following the wheel is a sinner, and the one who is following the baser instincts, that is Indriyarama. Indriyarama is living a wasteful life. This is what he says in verse 16. We will see verse 16 again. Evam pravartidam chakram nanuvartayati hayaha agayurindriyaramaga mogam partha sajivati. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Harihom sarvam krishnarpanavastu. Narayana 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 Narayana